Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to BPX Break Room. I'm here with Tex Hooper and Slappy, and today we are diving into the hottest topic in Boba right now, these blast boxes. That's right, the surprise announcement that dropped these coveted boxes into team hands as the whole community is talking. We're breaking down how that all went down, how the teams decided to split them, and what those decisions might mean going forward. It's the most sought after item in Boba. Everyone wants to know how they were divided, and maybe even more fun to ask, how would you have divided them? We've got some great guests and strong opinions lined up. So grab your coffee, drop your thoughts in chat, and let's get rolling. This is Break Room brought to you by Radish Digital with a J. Hey guys.
Hi, Jen.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing all right. It's a nice
Slappy, how are you doing?
Good. I'm just envying your bling that you're flashing. I know we have a guest who's got some bling around his neck. Have you ever thought about putting that on a necklace, Tex?
It's a little heavy, but I could definitely try. Yeah.
I think you guys should start wearing them as earrings.
Maybe at this year's National. I'll come in swinging it.
Whoa. Little TMI there.
All right, Jen, do you want to bring the guests up or what do you want to do?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's go. Who do we got? Oh, well, he wouldn't be my first choice.
Oh, look at this. What a crew. The things you see when you don't have a gun.
Whoa.
What's going on, fellas?
How's it going,
All
everybody?
good here.
Hey, guys.
Kyle, let's see it. Come on, show it off.
Oh, Matthew.
Oh, no, that's what I was talking
I
about.
don't know. I think Matthew has one upped you.
Yeah, for folks who can't see it clearly, what Kyle is blinging is the Bo Jackson Alpha 1 of 1 super non-auto that he has. And it's PSA graded what, Kyle?
As high as you get. As high as you can get.
Oh, 10.
Gem Mint, baby.
Gem Mint 10.
Gem Mint 10.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And Matthew, what were you just showing off?
I was showing off the blast box.
Will that be staying sealed or will that be being ripped?
For now, it's staying sealed. We're looking to see how the market shakes out.
Oh,
I apologize.
See, you just went right into the whole debate, Tex.
All right, so
ruining everything as usual.
Well, I just want to know what Seatown has for show and tell.
Just this pretty face, man.
All right. Good enough.
I got put on the dock a little late yesterday, and I'm not really prepared. I was driving, so.
No worries. All right, Jen, get us back on track now that I've ruined everything.
Yeah. Yo, jeez. So hard to work with people these days. So Matthew, that is the box from the National Apex Madness tournament in Chicago.
No, Playmaker.
Right? Oh, that's your Playmaker one. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So for those that don't know, the blast boxes were given out to all of the Apex Playmaker participants and then to the captains of the Apex Madness teams. So Matthew, you were on both, right? You played in both?
Correct.
Okay. So we've already established that's your individual box that you're saying is staying sealed for the time being?
Wait, hold on, Jen. Before you get there, I had a question, which is I thought, Jen and Tex, that there was an issue if you wanted to be both Apex Playmaker and Apex Madness. Wasn't there something about the schedule ahead of time that they were saying if you made it far enough on Apex Playmaker that you were going to be into trouble because of the schedule with Apex Madness? Am I misremembering that? I thought that was a big reason why you people weren't doing both. Am I... Anyway,
No.
You're asking me about this? I barely remember our schedule.
There was
today.
a conflict with that initially, and then they kind of took it and shook the whole schedule up and made conflicts other places so that those two could be.
So you could end up with 20,000 instead of 10,000.
Correct. They basically played the Apex the day before, and then ran the Madness on Sunday, I think, or Saturday, and then they did the championship round of Apex Playmaker after the Madness tournament.
All right. Thank you for that clarification, Matthew. So I believe the question was lobbed at you from Tex or Jen.
No, so I was just gonna say, so that was your individual box. So what team were you on?
I was on C-Town's Bazooka team, Bazooka Team B, or
Bazooka 2 is what we were called during the
Bazooka
tournament.
2. Yeah, yeah.
Bazooka 2. Okay.
Bazooka again.
So who was the captain of that team?
Jake was. For the,
Okay.
for
So
matchmaking.
Jake, you have the box.
I do, but I'm not the one who registered the team, so I was kind of surprised when it showed up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Shouldn't have told anybody. Should have gotten. I don't know.
Oh, no
Got
way.
lost in the mail. I don't know. I don't know why I have to do it.
There's no circumstance where those guys don't get a share if that whip that showed up to my house.
okay,
No chance.
so then that is the main purpose of this this live right now. So what did go through your head when you opened the box and saw the blast box? Like, did you think it was, because you also competed in the
In
the
both, yeah.
Playmaker tournament, so you had one coming from that. So did this one come before that, or what did you think when this came?
No, they came in the same box, and we had some discussions as a team beforehand trying to figure out who it was going to, because I couldn't remember if I had registered the team or not. I was almost certain that I hadn't, and I was right. But whoever did register it ended up putting me as the captain, so that's where it came.
Okay. And so how can you walk us through or give us a little insight on how those conversations went beforehand when you guys were first told that you guys were going to get a box as a team?
I mean, they really kind of didn't happen until people started receiving the emails that they were on the way. Yeah, like I said, I kind of brought it up in our little group Discord and said, hey, how do you guys want to split this? You know, if it comes to me. And honestly, if it would have went to somebody else and they decided to keep it, I would have been fine with that too, because like I said, it wasn't my bow that entered us, and like I was just kind of a last second fill-in. So
Interesting.
Did one person end up with that team box?
yeah, I have it right now.
Okay, and
We're figuring out when we're going to actually sell it and split it up.
okay, so the plan is to sell it. It's not to rip it
Yeah.
and divvy up the cards.
Correct. I mean, the plan could change, but as of right now, that seems to be the consensus.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd like to go rewind a little bit on a comment that you made, because I found it interesting that you said you would have not been upset if the person that had, so you're linking the bow ticket to the blast box, so you would not have been upset if that person decided to keep the box for themselves.
That's just more of a philosophical thing on my part. I'm not going to get bent out of shape over, something I wasn't expecting or felt I was owed. Right? Like ethically, I believe that the team should each get a share of it. But the person who is the captain and has did the registration and had the bow is in control of that. And I'm not going to ruin relationships over it, or even.
What's 10 grand between friends?
Yeah.
Well,
When all of this started, it was $4,000, right? Like,
True, yeah.
Yeah.
we didn't know that it was going to go on eBay and sell for $9,100, and all of a sudden now everybody's buying prices are double, right? So we actually benefited by hanging on to it for an extra week, a little bit, at least double, almost. Yeah.
I want to hear what people think though about. There's a little bit of daylight between splitting between the team and one person taking it based on the announcement. The announcement from the Boba team was, we're giving this to the captain and that's theirs. It's not like Apex Playmaker. It's not like everybody on the team got one. It was one box is going to a team and we're sending it to the captain. They gave no guidance and it just was theirs to decide. So it was a little Lord of the Flies-ish to do it. And keep in mind this is all an unexpected gift. So I think we can all agree, all 6 people on the stage, we're grateful for the Boba team for what they did with Blast, and all the people here are just grateful for getting something they weren't expecting. There's no, it's not being grateful. It's just, I'm curious to hear how everybody thinks about, that wiggle room where they said, nope, it's going to one person. You guys go ahead and decide on your own if one person wants to keep it. And complicating things, C-Town, is that it really wasn't clear who the captains were. When we submitted paperwork before we left, but then also when we were at National, we were submitting paper and work in the back room, remember? So I think there was double captains. And actually, I think between each round, we had to list or before each match, we had to list a captain.
Yeah,
So
there was a strategic element in the tournament for that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so we literally, I mean, which captain were they pulling? The one we registered back home, the one we registered on site, the one we registered before each game? So that's the other crazy thing, right?
Right. Well, to be fair to Bo Jackson Battle Arena, if they're only giving one box out, it makes sense to give it to the captain and let the captain decide, right?
Mhm.
Instead of tearing a box open and trying to divide 10 packs amongst 4 people, potentially, because most of the teams only had 4, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
Yeah.
I am the captain
just-
now.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and we just thought it would be cool for everyone to come on. And there's no, like Slappy said, they said the box went to the captain, so there's no right or wrong answer. It's just a very interesting conversation to have to see.
and I would imagine that we will see the teams that split the box be teams again next year, and the teams that didn't be on different teams next year, right?
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
There's some unit
Best
cohesion
line
there
of
that
the hour.
needs to be spoken about,
Mhm.
right? Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
fun
It
to be a
could,
team sport. You got to treat your team like your family, and you're
Mhm.
ready to die for them. So
Yep.
yeah.
if you're gonna be greedy or selfish over something like that, then you'll be looking for new teammates almost certainly.
So Matthew, you obviously were on Jake's team, but I'm assuming, what was your view when the whole announcement came out, and were you at all, kind of worried? Because I'm assuming you didn't think you were going to be the captain at any point. So
Right. I was like the last second ad when it comes to that team. It was like a week or two before, Jake and I were doing some play testing, and we were trying to put this team together, and so I think I was the last ad to the Bazooka 2. And so having I was excited to be there. I didn't know what to expect. Just, it was great to have a seat at the table and be able to play and do as well as we did, right? Like totally surprising.
Kyle.
Piano down the stairs.
Ba-da-da-da-dun.
Sorry, yeah, sorry.
When the announcement came out that the teams were getting one, I didn't expect to, whatever the captain wanted was fine with me. If they wanted to rip it, it was totally cool. But we decided to do the vote, as Jake mentioned, and figure out ways to divvy up. A great bonus, right? Like, it's
Yeah.
a life-changing amount of money, a life-changing set of cards. It's incredible that this thing snuck out, and no one was the wiser to the fact that it was going to be showing up until it did, and that was just really cool to see.
And we do have a question from the audience, Jen and Tex. It's Joseph says, were the boxes only given to Apex Madness captains? Were there any other brackets that got it? So the only ones from Boba Play that received it were the captains for the Apex Madness and the Apex Playmakers, each individual. And C-Town, Matthew, do you guys remember how many total there were in Apex Playmaker? How many entrants?
16 in Playmaker.
Yeah, 16 in Playmaker.
Okay, so 16, and there were 10 teams. So it's 26 of the 750 boxes did go out in that method. But did you think? Now, by the way, we have a lot of people who are watching us live. This is, if you're watching this recorded, please drop it in the comments. But what would you do? What would you do if it was sent to you and you were the captain, and it was given to you? Do you think you have the right to say, and I'm not saying this to the audience, you guys have, or to the people on stage, you've expressed it, but for the audience, if it gets sent to you, even if you think, yeah, I'm going to split it with everybody on my team, do you think it's up to you to decide that? Or do you think, no, it's not even a decision? Like, I had to do that. If you're following what I'm saying, I think most people do the right thing. But the question is, do you feel like it's your decision to make to do the right thing? Because that's the other thing. And of course, the question is, let's say, so Cardio Chris was on the first show of Boba Breakers Backstage. And the one thing that I've said to people is that, I mean, Chris was up front. He said it on a show, so not hiding anything. He said that he was going to buy a blast box for what the eBay closing price was, less eBay fees. And that worked out to about 7,500 because it sold for 9,100. If Cardio Chris, who is fair, but certainly not paying over market prices for different Boba assets, if he's willing to pay 7,500 for it, that means it's worth more than 7,500. So that tells me that Cardio thinks it's worth probably at least 10,000 as a floor.
Sure.
So I guess the question for you guys is that for every, if the price shoots up, and I'm not saying it will, 100%, I don't think it will. If it shoots up to $20,000 in the next 2 weeks, like you see a sale for that, do you think that changes anything? Do you think the people who are like C-Town and Matthew, and again, your team obviously solid, but do you think that's any chinks? Will money drive the people crazy?
Here's to hoping.
You're ready for the war if it happens to come up.
All right,
I
I guess
mean-
we have to give Kyle a chance to talk.
Yeah, I was wondering if I was blacked out or not,
What did your
but
try as we may, we can't. So Kyle, what were the team discussions and what did you guys decide?
well, first of all, like C-Town and Matthew, I know what it's like to be the last minute add-on. So I feel your pain there. But our discussions were pretty wide open. Jen actually was on my team. I don't know if we ever had a clear captain other than Rob kind of put things together in the early goings, but we, like Slappy mentioned during the tournament, we were selecting different captains based on strategy and whatnot. So I think it was pretty much across the board. Everybody was all for splitting it one way or another. And from a sale, not really, I don't think anybody really wanted to open it. We wanted to see where it went. We ended up, I think, deciding to sell it.
Nice.
Since Kyle's speaking, Kyle, you and I have had conversations. I should have asked you before we went on stage how much we can share. Can you share regarding blast boxes? Is there anything else you can share? And I'll just leave it vague.
Oh yeah, I was lucky enough after we the team deal, I actually won a blast box in the raffle, and after seeing the eBay sell, was the first to reach out to the community, and had about 8 people hit me up real quick, and was able to make a deal with Cardio and that crew. So that sale was mine.
So breaking news right here. Kyle was one of the raffle winners. A lot of folks in the community saying, hey, I don't know anybody who won. We've already established Tex Hooper won one. Kyle won one. So you can see 30% of this stage has won boxes in the raffle. And then, of course, Kyle is the one that Cardio Chris revealed. He had a deal with a community member to purchase a blast box at that point. So, Kyle, that was one blast box. And you're left with any blast boxes or no? That was it.
No. Got into the breaks, and I'll continue to do that as well. I'll probably get into the break that my own blast box I sold to for the Wizards. So I'm hyper focused right now on building an Apex deck and completing my Wizard Rainbow, which I think I'm 5 away from update. And I was showing C-Town earlier that I was in Bazooka's break. I won 2 of the.
Hold on. Let me put you up in the big screen. Hold on.
I got 2 of these ice to 5s, and I got that in the Bazooka break. So one's up for potential trade, looking for that. But I have some people that get first crack at it. Some in this audience. So, but anyway, that's what I'm hyper focused on right now. And as you know, and many of them have. The people in the community know, I don't ever sell anything. I'm just so into it as a collector, and I just build, my collection. And the blast price just was inviting to me, and I was like, I never sell. Let me put this out there, and I didn't realize I would get that quick a response, to be honest with you. So, and then I kind of forced my hand after that.
Nice. Now,
I see in the audience, Pacharka. I think what team was? I forget his team name.
The Motor City something, I think.
Is that what they were or whatever? But so he just got on and said that it was an easy decision within their team that they just split the packs between their team members.
And he was the team with Smash and Grab. You had Cursive, you had Cloud. So that was I think they were Motor City, but that was that team. So he's saying, but easily decided. I think the best line though today is C-Town. I'm going to clip that and say the ones that aren't splitting it are the ones that aren't going to be the teams next year. Like C-Town is like, yeah, I mean, it's true, right?
Yeah, it's very true. You gotta have that community. You gotta have that cohesion with your team. One for one, one for all.
Well,
Kyle mentioned that he's been buying into the Apex breaks or the Alpha Blast breaks. Have C-Town, have you been buying in also? And what are you trying to complete a rainbow? Are you just trying to get cards? Matthew, this is for you too.
Yeah, I bought heavily into Hobby Club's plays and a little bit into Bazooka's plays to get what I need for playing. The one rainbow I am chasing is Chief. I have several rainbows, but I'm not as concerned about completing the blast side of them. Just it's cost prohibitive because the cards are so amazing, and I'm a Navy Chief, so Chief is a 100% have to. So,
gotcha. Matthew, are you chasing anyone?
Players, no. Powers, yes. I definitely still have some Apex holes to fill that I think would be, would be cool with some of the blast cards. But I've mostly bought in on the hot dogs because the giveaways have just been so strong. I mean, the opportunity to win the Joey Jaws Hex Lino on Soothing's Willy Wonka break. Like, how can you? I didn't win it, but that card was just incredible. So there's definitely been some fun environment. And I bought some plays as well. Those are the big. The things that slot into a deck very quickly and make you competitive. That's to me where the value is, and wanting to have a good deck, be able to do the things that I want to with it. Now's the time, right? Because these big breaks aren't going to be coming up again. Like, this is it.
Oh my gosh,
I'm off
Matthew!
here and there. So
did the breaker send you in here to say that, Matthew?
No.
I think we all know this is.
But if you really think about it, right? For the next tournaments, right? They're Apex tournaments and they're alpha sets. So this is it. Like, if you want to do these 3 sets, like, you have to get your stuff now, because anything that they're gonna break or release, like Griffey comes out, that's a whole. You can't put those into your deck. So it's kind of like.
Well, yeah, you're going to need 2 separate Apex decks too, one for the Alpha and one for the World Championships. So luckily Griffey can be used for that one, but
yes. But yeah, so it's going to become very interesting to see how it all shakes out, and
and we're about a month away from Griffey, so which is pretty exciting. I don't know if anybody saw it last night, but they Eric S sent. Was it Cardio that was ripping last night? Yeah, Cole. He sent Cardio Cole a image of the the Ken Griffey 200 power autographed bubblegum card last night as a little sneak peek. So that was pretty nice to see. I'm sure it's that image is floating around the Discord. I'm sure if you haven't seen it, I'm sure it's pretty easy to find.
Well, getting back to the Apex Madness teams, is that C-Town and I were talking before we went on air, and it's interesting because you would think, the sister project from Block Packs, Wonders of the First, is kind of going through its own kind of Apex Madness World Championship, kind of setting it up. And it's interesting because over there, there's something called the stone foil you need to be in addition to these cards called OCMs. And very much the players need the collectors and these top items to get in. But it's funny because it was the reverse over here, which is you really had the people with the bow 1 of 99 cards really needed the players more than the players needed the bow cards. The people who had 5 teammates who had an Apex deck. So some people have said, I haven't put my logic into it, but people have said $3,000 to $5,000 for an Apex deck. So if you're going to have a team of, it's 4 to 6, so say 5, so $25,000 worth of cards, somebody on that team is going to have a bow card. So it was very interesting that the bow card people needed to change the players, not the players chasing the other way around. So it's not so much like, I know in Wonders they're saying like the team owner, right? Kind of like NASCAR. But in this, I don't think the bow owner really had the power in this. I think they needed to be grateful that they had a team. Do you agree with that? And do you think it's going to change for next year?
Well, there's certainly more bows available, and there's going to be more player cards available to make decks with. So that in and of itself should expand the field, I would hope. Yeah, as far as the Madness decks goes, Frenchie had announced the plan to make it kind of golf rules to where the low powers win. So that might make those decks a whole lot cheaper in their interim, right? Which would also greatly expand. The thing that's going to drive the price now or the cost of entering the tournament is these blast boxes, because everybody knows you get one. So now the bow auto tickets are, $5 to $10 grand a piece compared to, 2 to 3 months ago. So.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think it all depends on. I think it's interesting the contrast between Wonders and Bobo, because Wonders is a different animal because you have the collectors going for the stone foils, the formless foils, the OCMs, which in play don't mean anything. The card is the card. You could have the paper card and it's the same as having the stone foil. They do, it all does the same thing. So you can have a banger deck of paper, right, which is what people most prefer to play with because you don't ruin the cards. And then your collectors go after the higher cards. Here in Boba, it's because all of as you go up in rarity, you go up in power. So you're stuck with you have to find the collectors to hopefully make your decks. So it's kind of a meld of the two together.
Yeah.
So Kyle, that's something I'm sure you didn't know, is if you were in Wonders, like that bow card that you held around your neck while you were playing, is that there's no what do you call the placeholders?
Proxy.
The proxies. The proxy is you have your stone foil and you just pull out the paper version of it and you play with that instead of your stone foil. So you don't have to worry about the whole proxy business. So it's funny, like I do, knowing both the Boba and the Wonders world, I'm a little bit jealous of not having to throw my Theismann 1/1 super auto in and, be playing with that in my deck and worrying about, like, God forbid, like, in the chaos of National, like, something happens with your case and your cards. Not to mention, like, I mean, think about like us lugging around those cards. Like I said, there were 10 teams that were playing. Every team is probably about, $25,000 in cards. Think about, nobody said that before. 10 teams, you're looking at about $250,000 in cards that were sitting there. And you have all those people around you. And actually, they did a great job with security, I should say. During the Apex Madness, they did try to keep people away, again, there was $250,000 worth of cards there. But Jake brings up the great point about what's it going to be like next year is that, I mean, Matthew, do you fully expect to be playing at National for Apex Madness again and having another shot at a blast box?
I would love to be. Yeah, that's the plan. I mean, the experience was incredible, right? The environment, the cheering, everybody, the community was just very into it, and seeing everybody, the excitement was, yeah, absolutely. I still need to hunt down a bow card for the second bow, but yeah, I plan to be there.
You mean a second bow auto?
The one for next year.
Yeah.
The second edition bow auto.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
The second of 99. So Jen, I will say is that Tex and I are part of a group, and it's interesting. We had 2 teams, and used car sales ETH was I can put you up in the big one. Hold on.
That's the card he's talking about. Hang on, let me
Why do
Such a
I always
shame
end
that
up in
that
the
thing's been
middle?
graded. Just saying.
Because you're that
Whoop,
more. Actually,
whoop.
just hold it back towards your. Oh, that's good.
There we go.
Yep.
I had it and lost it.
All right. But Jen, I did want to say Tex and
Got the
I
idea.
is we had two teams as part of Radish. The Radishes and the Blockheads. And we decided that didn't matter how far one went, the other ones would go. So one advanced, one didn't. There was a monetary payout for the top 8 teams. So we took the money, split it among all the players, in addition to the card holders. So it ended up being like, Rody was there with his kid and his grandkid. So we ended up with 12 shares is what we did. And we split it across. And by the way, the Boba team was amazing. When we said, hey, this is what we want you to do with our winnings, we want you to send it out to 12 different people. And Cindy, God bless her, she's such an angel. She's like, I'll send it to whoever you want. I'm like, oh, thank you so much, Cindy. But when it came to the blast boxes, now we have additional ones. And C-Town and I were also talking about, like, it's well known in the community that there was one person who I think they had a signed contract. And the hard part is, when Jeff Frenchie is so generous and surprising, and when you write a contract, he creates opportunities that you weren't aware of or you couldn't dream of. And so then you're like, well, what do we do in this case? And, I was saying to C-Town, what if, C-Town was saying, like, everything that's not known is 50-50. And I'm like, all right, well, what if one person wants to sell and the other one doesn't? I'm like, well, you have to sell. Either buy out the other person, you have to sell. But my question would be, why? If you're 50%, you should be able to say, no, we're holding. And for our group is our plan, because we had 2 teams, we're going to sell one and we're going to keep one. If anybody's looking one for 10,000, is like, that's what I'm proposing, is like, when you get up to our price, but we're going to hold one and we're going to keep one. And that's our plan. Unfortunately, Rody is
You're going to hold one and keep one?
I mean, sell one and hold one. And Rody, unfortunately, is, people don't know this, he's actually 83 years old. So when I proposed holding it for 20 years, he'd be 103. And I'm like, all right, well, maybe we need to buy Rody out of both of them because he won't be around in 20 years. So, but Jake, to your point, is like, we started that discussion about, and then afterwards, Jed, maybe we can get to Jake talking about playability, SCG, Houston. But I did want to hear, like, Jake elaborate, like, why shouldn't the person who wants to hold it, like, that's where the hard part becomes. If it's 50-50, how do you know who wins?
I just disagree a little bit there. Like, once you've agreed it's 50-50, then figuring out the 50 should be the easy part, right? Because if one person wants to hold it, why pay out now, because you're paying out half at a lower price, and just buy the other person's half, right?
Because you don't have $5,000 to pay it out.
Sure, but you can come out for some sort of agreement there, right? Like, there's trade, there's the willingness to make an agreement has already been determined that you're splitting it 50-50, right? So it's just a matter of finding the right wheelhouse.
Well, Matthew, how do you determine the valuation? So if it's you and C-Town and you say he wants to keep it, you want to sell it. So how do you determine what the valuation is? Like,
just fight.
What would you
just
do?
fight?
By the way, Kobe Laker says, do a payment plan. Hey, C-Town, here's $50 every month for the next 100 months.
Payroll deduction.
Where's my money, man? Where's my money?
They go out in the dirt. They get in the squared circle, and last man standing.
So how would you determine the valuation, Matthew? Like, if you decide that you have to value it to sell to them, like, because that's another point of contention. Are you doing it based on the eBay? Are you doing eBay less? Are you doing the final eBay price? Are you doing it less fees? Are you doing what the current offer is? Are you doing what my offer of my demand $10,000?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely saying, this is splitting amongst friends kind of a deal. We're gonna come to a number that's reasonable. Taking eBay fees into account. In my mind, yeah, you deduct those, and somebody buys me out, then let's make it happen. That's if somebody really wants the box and somebody's more interested in the money. That's a down payment on a car. That's a year of college books. I think at this point. Those types of things that
semester.
Yeah. If they even use books anymore, I don't know. Yeah, you're
and I don't know if this is helpful for other people running into this problem, but I'm not going to say sold until I've brought, hey, this is our offer to the team, and let them decide if we want to accept it. So it's, there's going to be input from all parties before any final decisions are made. So
I think one of the things too about this community is that there's a lot of people that have made really good and lasting friendships, and there's a lot of community in the community, and that we don't really have anybody that's, at least that we know of at this point, we don't really have anybody that's willing to screw anybody over.
Right.
Really. So these all come down to, like you said, they're very hard decisions. They're, what do you want to do? It's tough to get a consensus sometimes, but I think because we all know each other, and and the teams were put together so well by the captains or whoever, that they're filled with people that are all happy to get along with each other and do what the majority wants one way or the other. There's nobody that really stands out and says, no, it has to be, we have to sell it, or we have to rip it. I think everybody's amenable to getting along and doing what's best for the group.
Right.
So I think that's fortunate for everyone.
Hey, and I got a bridge to sell you. That's great, though. I like how you see the
Well,
world there, Tex.
So far, it's not how you see the world.
It's
how I see this community so far.
We were just talking about there's been acrimony in the people. Like that's not the way it's been.
Well, but not surrounding this though.
Majority of
people are allowed to have bad
that
days,
we know
though,
of,
right?
Yeah.
And as the community grows, there is going to, people are going to notice how much money's trading hands, and we're going to attract the people who want to do us poorly.
The evil
So
doers.
you just got to be on guard for it.
And I want to give a special shout out to James, usedcarsales.eth, is that before National, he was looking to join a team and he wasn't getting any takers. And I had known him a little bit through the Discord, and we didn't need somebody else, but we're like, something it's like, it can always make our team better. I didn't, by the way, know just how packed his deck was. Like, he has an amazing deck. So he made us a lot better. But I said to James, like when we were having the conversation, I said, James, if you're the type of person, like when something happens and you want to know what the decision is, and it's so funny. I had no idea about the blast box. This was before National. I said, if you're the type who wants to know what we're going to do and what the decision is, this is not the right team for you. I'm like, Yo-Yo and Tex and Jorzane and Rody and I are the type that we might talk about it in 6 months. We might not. We generally forget about things until somebody's going back to look through the chat about something else and realizes we never made a decision about something. So I'm just like, if that's it for you. And so God bless James. I just contacted him like a couple days ago. And so like, James was like, he's such a nice guy. And it's like, that's the way we go. Cause our group hadn't really done anything and made a decision, right, Tex, about the boxes. And I mean, it's still not final because we're just like, whatever, we take the C-Town, Matthew attitude of it's everybody's share. So
the box isn't going anywhere, and whenever we decide to do something with it, it's sitting right here. So
yeah.
Hey,
All right.
Kyle, anything else you want to add on the boxes before we talk to Jake about SC?
I don't know. I mean, obviously we made it a quick decision. Everybody agreed as long as it's what Jen wanted to do, and that's how we do it things on our team. But no, just kidding. No, we maybe sold a little bit early, but I'm happy with the deal, and it was never a question of we're all splitting it. It was just whether we're breaking it up, selling it, or holding, and we all decided to sell. So I think we're all happy collectively. So
and you never wanted to rip it and split the packs up and like say you had 4 people on your team, you each get 2 and then you sell 2?
No, I'm kind of greedy. If I want to rip it, I want to rip the whole box. So no, it's it was just, I don't think anybody suggested that, to be honest. I think it was hold or sell, and we decided to sell. So
have we heard of any of the teams that have ripped the box and split the packs? Or split the cards? No, I haven't heard of anyone either.
Well, Petrarca said they're splitting the packs.
I'm pretty sure Bazooka 1 did.
Bazooka 1 split the packs? Yeah, I haven't heard of anyone ripping, but I've heard of either holding, looking to potentially at some point sell, or splitting the packs up.
Well, I think the eBay sale surprised a lot of people, so everybody's kind of like, if they had something already decided, maybe they're rethinking that.
Yeah.
There is another. I think there's 2 boxes up on eBay right now.
Oh, there's
One
4?
is
Actually,
Yeah,
one
let
of
me-
them is. Does the
There-
person in the stream want to say? And that they don't have to. They don't want to reveal themselves.
Oh, is it somebody in this room? Maybe.
Possibly.
I already
Yeah,
sold mine.
I have mine up there. Yeah. My
Ah,
fully made
okay.
Scott finagles and forces the info out.
Yeah.
Is
I
that
gotta say-
is that the buy it now?
It is, yeah.
What's listed?
Okay.
What's it listed
Yes.
at?
10,000.
Hey, wait. Can I tell you something? Oh my
Oh,
gosh, did I give you?
You think you're imaginative coming up with that number, Scott? Yeah, okay.
I let me tell you. No. I'll tell you the difference between mine. And I was giving you a hard time without you being there. Oh my! I think it was James I was talking about because I looked it up. $6 in shipping. You're selling me a $10,000 box and you're gonna upcharge me $6 for shipping? Just throw in the shipping for free, Matthew. My God!
How bad do you really want it?
Yeah, right.
Well, then make shipping
I mean,
$100.
You're spending 10 grand and you're going to squabble over $6.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, right.
It's
Yeah.
a deal breaker. Maybe you don't need it.
Our box is 10,000 net shipping. Hey, but I do want to say that Red Shirt, and I know we're gonna go over to Seatown, but Red Shirt is that I'll try to see you. Like, would love to have you come up on stage even for a couple minutes just to share any thoughts. He was, oh no, Red Shirt was he was on my team. Oh, okay. Is that he commented right after you guys talk about Bazooka One, but that's cursive. All right, I couldn't see in my. Sorry, I need my other glasses besides these ones that just let me see this.
And if you see B Jamps in the chat, he says if he's lucky enough to win to get a box, I presume win a box, he will 100% rip his box. So
No, the question is, will he let his boys rip it? They're getting older, and he
true.
never used to let them touch it. Would he let his boys touch that?
I don't think I'm gonna say no. And
Yeah.
I'll say why no. Well, I
One-
guess
one-
with the packs, but I would say no. Normally, everything in that house has to be even Steven.
once they're in the mags, the boys can touch them.
Yeah.
Once they're magged up. And we still have that coming up. We have for geeks, we have the geek raffle for blast boxes
Yeah, today.
coming up. I think it's supposed to be. Is it this week?
Oh,
Maybe.
Oh, it is
Right?
the
Today is
22nd, right?
22nd. Yeah.
Oh, it's today.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay, so has anybody checked this? Has it happened yet? I haven't checked Discord in a while. We could have some breaking news, maybe.
Ah,
But
Ben
by
says
the
the boys would rip it.
yes.
Oh,
Tex, I just want to point out that this blast.
yes.
So the Boba team was great, and they gave us 3 blast packs for the Boba Breakers backstage. We gave away 2 of the packs. One went to Lake Country Cards, which is awesome. One went to Beecher 74, and then this last one we're gonna rip open. And what we're gonna do is for comments on that the inaugural Boba Breakers backstage. If you leave a comment, you'll randomly be entered to win the hot dog and the play. The hero is actually going to be randomly given to somebody who's in the Radish Boba channel. So Radish has its own Discord, and there are people in the Boba Discord. And I don't do enough for the people in the Radish Discord, so I'm going to take the hero out of this, and that will go to a random person. You don't have to sign up. You're just going to get entered if you're already in Radish and you're in the Boba Discord. So, but
I got a
Cursive.
shot.
By the way, Cursive is that joining us, and he was on the team with Petrarca talking about splitting up the packs. Cursive, we're going to go to, and I know a couple of you guys have a time crunch. We're filming this live Wednesday, October 22nd. A few folks are going to have to head off in 15 minutes, but and we want to get to Jake and Seatown. But Cursive, was there any discussion about doing anything other than splitting up the packs, like selling it, or one person getting it, or the captain getting it?
So the blast packs were announced. Obviously, everyone's got excited, and then people that were part of a team that necessarily weren't maybe already had an agreement in place. I definitely think that started some conversation. Cloud was part of that team, and immediately was like, "Hey, I think we should split the packs." And I think everyone jumped on board right away. And so, funny thing about our packs, so Cloud got the box and immediately started ripping his packs. He sent me a video of them opening it, put my 2 packs in. His 9-year-old son picked my 2 packs, put back in the box, packed the jaw up, sent it out. But then immediately ripped their packs and posted them on the Discord. And then so I was like, I know what hits were already been hit, which was actually kind of nice. So they hit 3 stills, they hit the auto, and I was like, okay, well, I have a chance of getting more than likely an ice because I got 3 stills, 2 fires, the glow auto, and
Wait, what's the glow auto? What's the glow auto? Did they hit?
I think a Waddler, but I'm not. I'd have to check back on the Discord.
That's a 1 of 1.
Yeah, they got 1-1.
All the hits, and I was like, man, like, okay, I guess there's a chance I can get a bubble gum. More than likely, I'm getting at least an ice, if not 2 ices. So I hit an ice Bayou and a glow bomber, which I think they already had like 5 featured heroes. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I'm getting the bases. These are cards that I wasn't expecting. Packs I wasn't expecting. So obviously I got the dogs to play, which was nice. But as you guys had kind of mentioned as well, I was like, I was a last minute entry to that team. I posted on the Discord. I was like, hey, does anyone have an open spot? And I think I did have one of the nicer decks on the team. And I'll hype myself up there. But again, late entry. And so those guys did an amazing job, including me and everything. We had a blast. Because I do the Whatnot streams, they gave me the display case with acrylic. And so if you guys watch my streams, that's in the back. So again, I told them, hey, let's run this back. I know they have a couple tickets for next year. I don't know if that's been announced yet, but they have a few. And I would love to run it back. Or they want to run it back with DNC. I was like, let me host my own Madness team. My wife's thrown out there. She wants an all-women's team, so we're actively looking for a ticket for that. But yeah, Detroit Nation Collectibles did 100%, an amazing job with including me in the team and then making sure that I was able to get my share, which wasn't asked, and it was just pretty interesting. It was nice.
So Kyle, he's trying to recruit people. Do you think, based on what C-Town was saying, like some people, they're just not going to be the same team next year? So Kyle, how many people do you think from last year's National will be on new teams next year? Do you think it'll be over or under 10 people switching teams?
Oh, I think it'll be under, personally. But, I don't know every single team that was involved. I know probably 75, 80% of everybody. There were some that I don't know. So I would assume that everybody's going to stick together. At least I am, if Jen will let me.
Trying to block you earlier, so maybe not.
Oh, I know. We know. We know.
Hey,
The name of our team. Do you remember the name of our team? The Queen in her court.
Yes,
So,
the Queen in her court.
Let's not get it twisted here. We know.
So if you know that there was a ton of tickets that did not get used last National. We were holding on to them. They weren't there. You're going to see a huge influx of people in Apex Playmaker, but I think you'll see more teams in Apex Madness. I think the decks are easier to build. People had a ton of fun in those events. I do think there will be some switching. I personally asked, hey, Jake and Matt, we've hung out personally at my house and played some games. Would you guys be interested in doing it in a northeast kind of Cleveland area? I know Jake's in New York right now, but hopping on a team with me and Jake was like, no, thank you, right away. But yeah, I think there'll be some switching. We don't know what's going to happen yet. I know there's a ton of people that are getting these entry tickets, and they're already working negotiations behind the scenes of saying, hey, I have a ticket, I'm holding on to it. But if you have a deck, I don't, can you borrow my ticket for entry? We split winnings, or I get the blast, you possibly get the money if there's anything like that. So I think there's a ton of that going on, and I'm pretty excited for people to see new teams there, a big influx in that. But also just see partnerships out that people can move forward with. I know there's a lot of card shops like we see with LCC, sponsoring teams, and I think that could be the future for Boba.
It'll be interesting to see. Yeah, also influenced by what's going on in Wonders. By the way, Big Rob posting in the chat, did the bow autos now go for 10,000? C-Town, I think it was you, said, whereas they were going for around 2,000 to 3,000 a few months ago, they were around 5. I think you were saying.
Well, I honestly haven't seen very many of them come available. When the blast boxes were announced, the person who had one on eBay bumped it from like 3,000 to 9,000 or something. I don't know if it's sold or not. So.
And what's the difference between the 24 bows and the 25 pricing?
Right now, there's a 24 bow on eBay, and they're asking $5,000 for it, or best offer for a 24.
Yeah, and to answer your question, I don't know that there is a difference in price right now,
Okay.
because both will qualify you for a blast box in both tournaments. Both of the World Championship and the Alpha Trilogy are supposed to be given a blast box.
Is that an official statement that you got from Bubba Team? Because Jake, I know a ton of people are asking that. I've been asked that in my DMs of Alpha Trilogy. It's
Yeah.
a blast box, so that is breaking news, at least from my side that I
Well,
have.
that's my let me clarify. That's my understanding of the announcement that was made by either Eric or in the Bow Battle Arena Discord.
Okay,
Now
so
you
wait.
got me questioning myself, so I should go back and read it again. But that's my understanding, is the competitors in the Alpha Trilogy Apex Playmaker and in the Apex World Championships will receive blast boxes. But I might be mistaken. I'm questioning myself now.
Well, and it also brings up, so just a remind. Sorry, Kyle, go ahead, and then I've got.
No, I just to follow up on that. Are you talking about for the remainder of 24 or 25? So the 24 ticket works for the 25 tournaments, and then the 25 ticket works for next year's, or did I?
No, so there's two different tournaments. One,
Okay.
the Alpha Trilogy tournament will be the ticket is the 24 bow, and the 25 bow will be the ticket to the World Championship side of the house.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
there's $100,000 prize pool for the Alpha Trilogy, and then there's $150,000 prize pool for the World Championships divided.
Going on at the same event at the same
yeah.
time, same day.
I'm putting some assumption on there that there will be two Madness events, like an Alpha Trilogy Madness and a World Championship Madness. So don't quote me on that. I don't know what the tournament schedule is going to look like, but yeah. So there's two separate prize pools totaling $250,000 though.
And so,
And just quickly, according to Card Ladder, the last 25 bow to 99 sold on September 24th for a little over $2,300.
Dang it.
Yeah, that was a good buy. Yeah, and I do know one owner was trying to sell it for $3,000 before National, and couldn't get a taker. But one thing just to keep in mind when we talk about this, to this day, there's still people who don't know that Apex Madness was war. They still think that it was with the plays, substitution, and that's how it was being played. All you needed to do was have your deck and play war with it. And actually Cursive and I met each other twice. And on the second meetup, we went old school. We didn't set him up. And he's like, and this is Cursive ideas, like, let's just rip them off the top of our deck. And we did that against each other. It was fun. It was really fun playing against Cursive. But it's interesting when CTAB brought this up, which I had not thought about this. Last year, right, they divided the 100,000 based on how many people entered into Apex Playmaker and Apex Madness. And Whiplash Jackson said, what's the difference? So Apex there's two divisions. It's Playmaker and it's Madness. Madness is a team, Playmaker is individual. And so what they said is, depending on, there's a little bit complicated formula, but basically if everybody did Apex Madness, then 100,000 would have gone over there. And if everybody was in Apex Playmaker, all the prize money would have gone over there. So it was fascinating to see how they attributed the money. But I'm thinking, you got me thinking, C-Town, is if you have a great deck, maybe you don't stay with the team. Maybe you go to Apex Playmaker, because then you don't have to worry about splitting a blast box with anyone. You can have a blast box for yourself. And will that tilt it? And then the prize money, right, will tilt back towards Playmaker, and there won't be nearly as much for Apex Madness.
Or if you're a degenerate like me, you play both.
Yeah, I would say, Scott, I would disagree with you on that for the most part, because I think because the problem is, to move from Madness to Playmaker, you have to know how to play. Like, I would be out in the first round. Like, I don't play actively, so I would just get killed. So I would
knowing you get a blast box, though, that's kind of an acceptable outcome, right?
True. Yes. So that is. Yes.
Yeah. She doesn't think like Matthew. Can you take the question that Whiplash Jackson just said? Yeah.
Just to say, last place, which I think I was eliminated right away. Still gets a blast box.
Hold on, I can't get you. Let me get you. Hold on. Let's see.
There we go.
Maybe spend more time in those production meetings on Signal. Sorry, go ahead.
Last place was worth 10 grand.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So there is that. That may, drag some people over, but I don't know. I mean, it's not as, for me, it's not as simple as just saying that has more prize money, I'm going to go over there. Because I most likely would not be in the prize money allocation ranks.
It seems like it's harder getting the prize money, obviously, in Apex Playmaker. You have a better chance of getting the prize money with Madness. That's what we found out. But like Matt showed, hey, last place is still getting a blast box, so you could show up with the 160 spec in Playmaker and just say, hey, I'll take the L, but send me my blast box in the mail.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and how they divvied up the prize pool was every team entrance was counted as three shares of the prize pool, and every Playmaker was counted as one. So the Playmaker side actually got almost 2/3 of the prize. Yeah, 2-1, almost 2/3 of the prize pool out of the cash. Oh.
But the other thing, Scott, is you can't just make that change. You need the auto.
Correct. Right.
You need the entry ticket. So Madness, you just need one for the team. Playmaker, you have to have the auto, and it can't be the same auto that you used for.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I'm thinking that the bow autos are like candy; they're just everywhere, right? This time of year at Halloween. C-Town, can you just answer that question for because you're the everybody knows you as the rules man. Can you answer Whiplash's question?
The 24 is getting in the 25.
Yeah.
So the question as written is a little confusing. I'll try to break it down. So the National 24 bow autos get you into the Alpha Trilogy tournament. The ones that you got from the Big League 2 box, the 25 national bows, those are for what will be the 2026 World Championship tournament. They'll be played at the same time at the same weekend at the National Sports Collector Convention, but they're two separate things and they're not interchangeable, by my understanding.
And at this point, the N24 bow is expected to get you into Alpha Trilogy forever.
Forever, yes.
Yep.
That is the ticket forever.
Now, if say you had multiples or you weren't able to make it to the national one year or whatever, what do you feel about renting out your ticket? And what price would you put on it to rent it out? Would you just want a cut of the win if they win, or would you want some money up front for the rental to guarantee yourself a little something if they don't win anything? Anybody can answer it.
I'll take that, because I have quite a few people in my DMs currently saying, I have a ticket, would you want to use it? Just let me know if I'm good keeping the blast box, and I think everything else is on the table after that. So and I'm probably not the only player that's gotten some DMs like that. And I think there might have been some like I said, that did not get used before, and I don't think that's going to happen this coming up here. I think everyone that has a ticket now knows it has to be used in that fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for me, it just depends on who I was loaning it to.
Right.
Like if it's somebody I don't know, yeah, we're probably going to split it. If it's a friend, here, knock yourself out.
Right. Again, back to the community. This is a great community.
Yeah, love to see it get used. See somebody play it. I think it's then have it sit for sure.
Nice.
Well,
Excellent.
So Jen, I think Matthew's going to have to depart. We've got if you're in the audience, don't step away. We've got more to come.
Yeah. So
take care, Matthew. Thank you.
yeah. Bye, Matthew. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Later, Matthew.
So Jake, did you want to move into SCG?
Sure. How do you want me to attack it?
I was just gonna say you can do whatever you want, because I don't know much about that. I know there was there were two locations so far. Or was it just one?
What do you mean, 2 locations?
Weren't there 2 tournaments? There was.
Oh yeah, there was 2 we'll call them main events, and then there was like 2 or 3 side events.
Okay.
I think there was 2 side events on Friday, which I didn't play in. By design, I wasn't going to rush trying to get there. It was 2 days of driving, and I got there to hang out and watch some of that. But the tournaments offered were predominantly sealed deck. The main one on Friday was a full booster box, collector booster box, and the entry was $200. So you're basically getting a $200 booster box, which is cool.
Which is insane because the booster box today is selling. Didn't Cardio Chris up his? I heard.
Yeah, they
450.
No, they paid $700 for him at the at SCG. Yeah, because we only had 4 people show up for the spec tournament, and the entire top 4 got at minimum a collector booster box for the prize. So like, yeah, all 3 of those guys, I took first, but I think.
Wait, did you get it? What
over to Hobby
did you
Club
get any
and sold their
banger
boxes.
cards out of it? By the way,
Say again?
did you get any banger cards out of your booster?
Oh no, mine's not opened.
You're keeping
I'm sitting on a shelf upstairs.
Oh, so you didn't play in the seal?
So the sealed deck that I played in was on Sunday, and it was a $10,000 prize pool. So it was a cash tournament. I took second in that one to some new blood. Hopefully new blood. Yeah. Basically, so how the SCG conventions are predominantly Magic the Gathering Pro events, and those tournaments are 2 days long. Basically, by the end of the first day, you know if you're invited to play in the second day. So for the 10K sealed deck tournament that we had, a bunch of people who had realized that they couldn't compete further in the Magic tournament jumped over and saw the $10,000 prize pool and joined. So we had 30 people, which is awesome, considering only like 5 or 6 of us were previous Boba players. And they did quite well. They're kids and guys who have played Magic for decades, and they have a good feel for how card games work. And the person who won had an awesome pull. He had a Merino Fire Auto, another 140 Glow, and like just the play support to just crush. And it was awesome to see.
And so, Jen, I know that C-Town the other day, he posted a comment when we did the Boba Breakers backstage where he said the exposure for Boba at SCG Con Houston was impressive. And he said something that got me thinking about it, that we really focus on, especially with blast boxes, we focus on valuations, collectability, and the playability, like obviously going international and Apex Playmaker, some spoke about. But you don't hear about it right now. So it was interesting just to hear C-Town speaking through the noise and saying, hey, I saw something at Houston. So last night on Creators of the First, we had American Texan and Capricorn talking about the Magic people and how they felt about the product. There was one Magic person who, as he played, he's like, this is awesome. I can't believe this play. And he was speaking out loud because he was so excited. I would imagine the Magic people wouldn't have that kind of reaction to the Boba stuff. I would think they might move over to this for the prize, for the tournaments, but I don't see them having the same affinity. Or were they having? Because I just don't see them as sports people.
So it's funny you bring that up, man, because almost to a person, like the Magic players and the Flesh and Blood players and the other card players that came over as we were sitting down and getting started were pretty condescending in the way that they were talking about the game. And then by about mid-round 3, almost all of them had been won over. And then by the end of it, the most vocal of it had asked to be friends with me on Discord and be invited to the Boba Discord. So, I mean,
wow.
It's just a matter of them sitting down and playing and seeing how fun it is, because every game is intense, right? Like, and you couple that with an amazing community who's always trying to lift each other up, and you've got a recipe for success, I think.
Is that what did it, C-Town? Is that why? Because you were clearly, you something's flipped in your brain, and you're like, something's happening with Boba on the player level. And is that what it was? These Magic players who were won over by round 3, or was it something else?
I used to be one of those Magic players, and my first notion of that was at the Winter Brawl, right? Like, okay, this has got me hook, line, and sinker. I'm done. And it's going to be a slow go because we've only had it at one SCG so far, with Wonders being at Orlando. So the more exposure they get, the more time or the more events that they enter, it's going to grow rapidly, I think.
And for folks who question in the raffle about, how come we don't know more people in the Discord who won it? And Frenchie alluded, hey, there's a lot more people buying boba than everybody realizes. Discord is a small echo chamber. When I met Seatown at the first Winter Brawl down in Columbia, South Carolina, and we got talking, I was like, so who are you in the Discord? And he's like, what? And he's like, no, I found out about this company. I found out about this product, and I went down a rabbit hole, and I found I'm like, how did you even know they were having this Winter Brawl if you weren't in the Discord? And he worked it to get down there. And I also just want to point out one other thing for folks who can try to make it. If you're within driving distance of Baltimore, because Boba's going to be at SCG Baltimore, right? Seatown? Yes, Cursor's nodding his head. Is that you can't stress enough to go to these early events. These are the early days. You're getting things. As far as I know, the promo cards are for like Wonders, for instance, they're limited. They're not being reprinted. So same thing with Boba, whatever you can get. Again, these $700 booster boxes you can buy for $200. Going to these tournaments mean a lot. And so Seatown, do you want to share? You did not win you came in second to Birdman in the Winter Brawl. And what did Jeff do for you coming in second out of 16 people?
Yeah. Jeff actually added a second bow ticket to the tournament before the final match even started. Yeah, so it took all the pressure off my shoulders. I would have been a little sad, but I still would have came back even if that hadn't been available to me.
So
I would have found a different way. Yeah.
So that's a $5,000 gift that Jeff just gave. And then on top of that, for the second tournament, and I told Troy's card shack, I told him, don't leave. He was driving to Independence, Virginia. I was driving back to Wilmington, but I'm like, never leave. And Jeff goes ahead, pulls out, I think it was a booster box. He pulled out booster boxes, gave us all, and he said, we're going to do a sealed tournament. Go ahead and build your deck out of this. And there were 8 of us left. And he gave another bow and another championship mat from there, correct?
Yep, he sure did. Yeah. Free alpha collector boxes to anybody who wanted to play in that tournament. He said, here you go.
Crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
It was
amazing.
Awesome.
Now, it's by the way, Jen in Texas, Yo-Yo just joined, and I have to give him a hard time. I spoke with Yo-Yo yesterday, and he goes, man, I'm not into boba. He's like, I'm all about Wonders now. I'm going to be very minimalistic when it comes to boba. I talked to American Texan last night after we stopped our broadcast of Creators of the First, and he tells me, he goes, man, he's like, Yo-Yo just was telling me all about boba. So I learned all about it at SCG Con Houston. And I'm like, so the guy who says that he's putting boba behind him is converting one of the main Wonders content creators into boba. So I don't know what you have to say about that, Yo-Yo. We just had Seatown telling us about what Houston was like and the positive signs he saw from the Magic and Flesh and Blood people playing the boba game.
Yo-Yo?
Oh, yeah.
Hear me?
Are you in the car? Are you in the car?
I am in the car. Here's my scenario this whole morning. Somebody broke down. They know I'm a AAA member. So they sent me to get a family member, and I have to sit here for 2 hours waiting for a tow truck. Like if I wasn't short on time to go to work, 'cause I fly out crack at dawn tomorrow. So that's my whole day. Just sitting outside waiting for a tow truck.
All right. So Yo-Yo,
Fun time.
you're not going to do, you have to leave early on Saturday. So you're not going to do any boba events at Baltimore, correct?
No, unfortunately, no. I'm just going to fly in, say hello to people, play a little bit, and then leave.
And you didn't do Houston, right? You didn't do any boba events there?
No, I did not.
Because of schedule, or you just chose not to?
I just chose not to. I just played Wonders. I just wanted to try out Wonders.
Okay.
Just a challenge, you know. I tried Boba already. It's fun. And I said, let me see what else is going on over here. I just wanted to test myself, and it worked out pretty good. Came in the top 8 and all 3 times I played, so it was fun.
By the way, Yo-Yo, Cody's saying that's why you always keep a box in your car so you can rip while you wait. Now, you're headed to Baltimore, and are you playing Wonders or Boba or both?
Me? I'm just playing Boba.
You're just playing Boba there.
Yeah. So there's enough tournaments like for Houston. From the time I started playing on Saturday, it was pretty much nonstop. There's not time to do both. Like you have to dedicate to one or the other. I think is
you got to pick one.
Yeah.
I know Baltimore is going to be a lot more of the OG community, right? Jake will be there. I'll be there. Branch will be there. Bo, Yo-Yo is obviously making an appearance, so it'd be good to see you again. But I think there's already a handful of people signed up. The Knoxvilles are going to be there. They're bringing the kids.
Really?
I'm bringing the kids. Yeah, it's going to be a good time. So Houston was I don't know if it was because of time or location, but Baltimore, I think we're going to show up, and I'm pretty excited for it.
Yeah, and for you Boba veterans who are there, I have a request. Just when you're playing in the sealeds, and you're talking to these people who come off a little condescending, have patience. Be excited for them when they open expensive cards. The person sitting across from me at the 10K opened a Hex Lino Merlomes.
Dang.
Really?
I lost my mind. I was so happy for him. I'm like, dude, that's a $500 card. And he's like, what? Like pump it up and promote it and be a good ambassador for it. And if by the end of the Boba tournament, if they're still not sold, hey, go try the Wonders demo. Like that's probably much more up the Magic players' alley. And I guarantee you they'll enjoy that one too. Right. So we lift everybody up.
Awesome.
Very
Definitely.
good. Good point. Very good point there.
Mm.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm Scott and Tex. Neither one of you are going to Baltimore, are you?
No.
I'm really upset. I was planning on going, but then my daughter's cross country schedule came in, and so Fantasy Intern Eva is running on Saturday to determine whether her team goes to states or not. So important meet, and so I can't meet it. The only thing I could possibly do, and I'll have to look at the schedule. I don't know if it makes sense for me to drive Saturday and then be there for Sunday, because I almost would be willing to do that. I'd love to go down there. Like, honestly, for me personally, this is one of the most exciting things. Why I wanted to have Jake on the show is that, we think the collectability, the Griffey is so great about Boba, but man, if you infuse the playability, it just takes it to another level. Whereas over in Wonders, we have players and the collectors really aren't there yet. Over here in Boba, we have the collectors, but we really don't have the players. And I think most people kind of see it as an afterthought, or it's a cute thing, or it's an experiment. But, by being at an SCG con and by putting up prize money like this, they're essentially saying, and, Capricorn was talking about how much money Wonders is spending on their prize pool. And it's about 25% of what Magic does. And which that surprised me, but he said, when we're this small and we're 1/4 of their prize money, he goes, that's incredible. And you should expect, Wonders to grow their prize pool. But if you look at Boba, which is similar to Wonders, why wouldn't these Magic the people, Jake? Why wouldn't they flood over, not all of them, but the ones who are willing to go after prizes? Why wouldn't they come over to Boba as well as Wonders?
That's a great question. I don't know. I mean, they just haven't played it yet. That's my thought, right? The second they play it, and the ones who are very good Magic players, they'll sit down and they'll play it, and they're going to feel like they have an edge very quickly, right? And they may or may not be wrong. I don't know, but success breeds excitement. Right. So the better they do at it, the happier they're going to be with it, then the more they're going to figure it out. But Magic has history behind it too. So they're 35 years strong, almost 32 years strong now. So there's a lot of, just prestige behind that, being a Pro Tour champion or a Magic the Gathering world champion at this point. like they've got a Hall of Fame set up. Like there's so many extra layers to being successful in Magic and pride that goes with it right now. And I think Boba will catch up. I think the 4 or 5 year mark of Boba is going to be where the rubber hits the road, though, right? If they make it through that patch of, still going strong, then I think there's a lot of longevity for it.
Yeah, it's all about exposure. The more people get exposed to the game, the more it's going to grow, the greater it's going to be.
Yeah, and I do everything I can on a personal basis to promote it. Like whether it's walking around sports card conventions and saying, "Hey, dude, you guys got to check this out." Running. Well, I don't have a local game store anymore to learn to play stuff. Like talking it up. Like, it's just a matter of getting somebody in the chair so they can realize how fun it is, because it is genuinely a fun game.
I think Griffey is gonna be a big boost to Boba too. I think that's gonna attract a lot of people that aren't aware of Boba at this point. Just Bo Jackson and Ken Griffey together. Plus, when people find out about all the other autograph signers that are in there, especially the ones that are in Boba or that are in the Griffey edition with Roger Clemens and so many other Hall of Famers that are in there. I mean, it's pretty amazing the checklist that's coming.
Again, it's getting the sports card Bubba's in the seat to play, right? Like that's even a bigger trick than getting the Magic players into the seat to play, right? Because I got time for that. I want to go find my new Michael Jordan rookie or something.
Right.
This will help with that if you're patient. And
all good things coming down the road.
Yes,
absolutely.
I think a lot more excitement and than not at this point. So that is always a plus.
Yeah, and like Jake said, we're essentially a year into Boba, and it's this big. Magic's had 30 years, to do this. So we're where we are a year in. 4 or 5 years from now, what's it going to be like? Hopefully if this trajectory keeps going, it's going to be wild. It's going to be, thousands of people in these tournaments and stuff at, the bigger national tournaments and the big shows and stuff. So,
yeah, I mean, there are certain aspects of Magic that I hope we don't get to, and that's like they have a 600-page in-depth rule book. That is absurd. As long as we can keep it simple, we'll have a good time with it, I think.
Yeah, I think Frenchie is probably pretty conscious of that and wants to stay away from anything like that. So I think we're in good hands.
Yeah, he's very attentive to it, which is the first boon we need, right? Is somebody who's excited about what they've created.
Yep. Without a doubt.
But C-Town, when you talk about the Magic players, it makes me think about the Dragon Cup for Wonders. And if the Magic people, I know some of us thought about it for this last World Championship for Apex Playmaker, but maybe we'll see a shift if you start recruiting those, because that is one of the barriers, right? I mean, it's true with all card games. The best cards cost a lot of money, but the Magic people, if they don't want to hold a Boba collection, right, is you go out and you get one of these. Like the smart thing to do if you're somebody who holds an Apex deck is to go to SCG Con Baltimore, find these MTG people and Flesh people who are playing in the tournament and doing really well, and approaching them and saying, I want to sponsor you with my deck. You're going to be in Chicago next year. And that is the next step that somebody should be willing to do. Somebody with a Bo card.
Yeah, and another thing for our OG Madness players, if you played on the Magic or a Madness team at the National and you're going to Baltimore, bring your team jerseys and wear them. Right, I wore the Team Bazooka thing, and everybody gave me a sign. Oh, this is the local pro. No, this is demonstrating Boba and what we want. Because when I explained to them what it was, no, you have to have a jersey and a team concept to play in the World. So they're like, oh, that's amazing, right? So it's just one more talking point that we have in our arsenal to kind of sell the product.
It's too bad we lost Kyle, because Kyle, he showed off to me. He got personal correspondence from Hall of Famer Carlton Fisk. And I responded back with my picture of my personal correspondence from Carlton Fisk. For those who didn't know, the Radishes and the Blockheads had beautiful cowboy shirts that Gene Autry would have been proud of. And then Carlton Fisk came up and loved our shirts. He talked to me about the shirts, and his handler said, you know, Carlton really wants that shirt. And at first I was thinking, oh, this is going to be a pain in the butt. I'm going to have to send it to the handler, and the handler sends it on and like whatever. But no, the handler like, here's his address. Go ahead and send it to him. And so Carlton let me send him one of our shirts. He sent me a nice thank you card. He absolutely loves wearing Team Radish Blockheads Apex Madness shirt.
I'm talking about.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And
That was the freaking ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life.
they grow on you after a little while.
Yeah.
How
Literally,
cool would it be if
literally they
Art
grow
had
on you.
a shirt on it. He's coming in the set, right? Like in Griffey.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
It'd
He's
be cool
signing
if his hero was wearing your Team Radish shirt, right?
That would be amazing.
If he could go back. And by the way, it's not the Griffey set. It's the Mo Rivera set. Just to let you know. People incorrectly have been calling it the Griffey set, the kid set. It's the Mariano Rivera set.
Hey, did you know Edgar Martinez hit like 455 off of Mariano Rivera?
Actually, oh my gosh. And I know we got to go, but my kid, I've told him, for those who don't know, Seatown's a big Seattle fan. He's excited for King Felix.
Mhm.
But I've told my kid, like all my Red Sox friends before 2004, like I talk about the great Yankee Red Sox series, and I'm like, that was amazing. And they're like, you only say it because you won. And I'm like, no, I wouldn't say that. And I think the best series of all time that I've ever seen is the 95 Seattle Yankees wild card, back when they played a long series, wild card series, and the Yankees lost that. And that was the best series ever. So I found it on YouTube. I started playing it with my son. And what's crazy, right, is you see all these players that are coaches now, and he can't believe that.
Yeah.
He couldn't believe Randy Johnson was in a Mariners uniform. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Randy will always be a Mariner. Yeah, forget Yankees, Diamondbacks. But he watched all those people, and Edgar Martinez he probably is the one I hated seeing up to bat most. He was Tony Gwynn. He was just he was a
automatic.
man.
Yeah. It's fun fact about that series. I almost got fired from my job at Burger King when Edgar hit that double, because we were listening to it in the break room on the radio, and I came running out screaming my face off. Like my boss was like, "Dude, get your ass back there." Pardon my language.
My son looked at that roster at the beginning of the game, and he goes, "No wonder they won 114 games." He goes, "How did they not win the World Series?"
Yeah.
So we were rooting.
I mean, Griffey, A-Rod, and Randy Johnson weren't on that team that won 116 games.
Oh, was the 95? What was the That's right, 95 won, because that was the Yankee dynasty that knocked out the 114 win team. I forgot. This is before the Yankees. Yeah. So.
Well, our ace Jamie Moyer broke his shin pitching batting practice right before that Yankee series started, and that kicked our rotation in the teeth a little bit.
Yeah.
I can imagine how much breaking a shin has to hurt.
Yeah. Right.
Like,
you're a pitcher, you're not running. Get out there.
Yeah, right. We should probably wrap it up here. We've been going for almost an hour and a half. Cursive, let's get a last word from you. Anything you'd like to leave us with?
Yeah, thanks for letting me hop on late. Had some stuff to take care of. Scott, I will say, if you make it to the Baltimore for Sunday, that is the 10-pack sale tournament that's going to be for money. So definitely join in on that. The more old heads we can get, and old meaning OG players, not our ages. That would be great. It'd be good to see you guys in person. So we will see you guys hopefully in Baltimore, and anyone that hasn't been yet, come down, come hang out with me and Jake, and we'll be there.
Yeah. And Scott, if that's a possibility, don't wait to register until you get there, because it will fill up Saturday evening, Sunday morning. So don't wait.
Where in Baltimore is this happening?
Baltimore Convention Center.
Okay.
Right downtown Inner Harbor.
In the Fells Point area?
I believe so.
Excellent. Stop in at the Soundgarden while you're there too. Buy some music.
Will do.
All right. Thank you, Cursive.
So it looked like Mitchell had one last question for Seatown. But here we go. What type of celebration do you plan on doing when you win Nationals 2026? Champagne shower? Will you rip your shirt off a la women's soccer team? Will you punch Tex in the face? Will you kiss
I
Bo?
vote for that one.
Aw. Not in the moneymaker.
Will you share it with Cursive?
I'll share with Cursive. That whatever the celebration is going to be in the moment. I'm not gonna plan like it's already sort of thing, man.
We'll have some cigars ready just in case.
All right.
Awesome.
All right.
Excellent.
Well, Scott, anything else before we wrap it up? You're good? Okay. All right. Well, that is a wrap for Radish Break Room. Big thanks to everyone who joined the conversation and helped us break down the hottest topic in Boba right now, the blast boxes. We covered the surprise announcement, how the teams handled their splits, and of course, the questions still hanging in the air. How would you have divided them? A huge shout out to our onstage guests for bringing the insight, energy, and entertainment today. You all make this discussion what it is. Also, thanks to Tex Hooper for keeping things rolling and Slappy for running the show right alongside us. And of course, thank you to the community. Your comments, theories, and hot takes keep this place alive. The Boba crowd always brings the passion, and that's exactly what makes the break room worth showing up for. We'll be back soon with more topics, more laughs, and probably a few more questionable opinions. So stay tuned. This has been Radish Break Room, brought to you by Radish Digital with a J, because spelling it the normal way is too easy. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Bye.
You guys.